What's going on, people from the tube? Welcome back to another Pancho things. So today what we're gonna do is I need to rewire my lights and my bilge pump on the boat. A reason being is when I put those lights, literally was the day of the big dog opener. I did that 2 hours or 3 hours prior the opener. So I pretty much put the thing together just so I could go and do my thing. But yesterday I went fishing and I realized that my bilge pump switch is not working. It's either the switch or the connection got loose. Regardless, I'm gonna do it properly. So I got two boxes where everything is separated, got the fuses in there. So I need to wire the whole switch boxes and the fuse boxes and the negative and the ground or negative separately. So I'm gonna get everything separated just in case there is something happen in the future. I can go and finger point exactly where the issue is and correct it versus having to like figure the whole thing out. So it's been a year since I did that, so hey, it lasted quite a while. So I'm gonna go and get everything situated. So I'm gonna show you. So that's my switch box, bilge pump. I got light there. Then I got my red and green LEDs on the side and my front bar. So I got also a master for the positive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take everything out, and if you can see, all those wires are just shoved in there. So we're gonna get all of that out, and I'm gonna grab the switches. I'm gonna grab the boxes that are gonna do the installation. So this is my ground one, and then I got my positive fuse box. The deal is that when I did it, so here's my negative ground one, and here's my fuse box positive. The deal is that when I did this, I literally put all the positive together into one positive so I can get it straight to the battery. The problem is with that if something happens, everything needs to be pulled apart, like we're gonna have to do today. So what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna grab all my tools and all the things and start working and testing and working and testing once I figure out the problem, solve the issue, and then wire everything. But I also have a piece of wood that I need to treat and cut and get ready so I can mount this when everything is said and done. So I'll show you that. Alrighty, so got my boxes. See if you guys are in frame there. I got this piece of wood laying around. So I'm gonna measure everything, cut the excess, and then I'm gonna seal this and use that as my frame for the wire. So here's the box. That's my positive where it says everything is just ground together. Then I got my fuses, and then I got one negative, and all these positive turn into one positive as well. So what we're gonna do right now is that I'm gonna connect everything properly, get rid of, this is the switch that is giving me the problem, so we're gonna figure out what is happening with that. So we're gonna rewire all of this. So this is no longer gonna be in existence, it's gonna go to this guy, and then all the negatives are gonna pass to this bad boy. And that way everything is nice and dead. There we go. Here's what's happening. I have to get this positive, cut it. This will go to my new fuse box and then gets out of the fuse box and connects right back up in here. So what I need to do is make sure that I left a lot of cable in case that if I had to do this, I had enough to cut and splice, but I gotta be really conservative and careful because once I cut and paste everything again, the amount of cable I'm gonna have is shorter. So if I mess up, I'm gonna have to redo everything. So what I'm gonna do right now is, because of all the tools and everything that I don't have decent space to keep the camera, and I don't want the camera to overheat because in that way I'm not gonna be able to film anything else. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take everything out, I'll come back, show you, and then I'm gonna do every step that I do. I'm gonna stop, come back, and show you, okay? Alrighty, so what's gonna happen is that I need to kind of have an order, a system here. So I'm gonna start with my grounds, and this is my lead that goes to the battery. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna shrink wrap this and get it all ready and install on the plate, so in that way I know that is the ground and is where is it going and how much distance of cable I need. Okay, pretty much I got my shrink wrap, get it in there, and then grab a lighter and roll it down. So now this is gonna get installed there. So I gotta put another clamp in here to install it. I'm gonna do that next. Alright, that's all taken care of. That's my lead to the battery. Next I'm gonna start tightening up all my negatives into the baseboard, so I know exactly in what order I want it in my particular order. So alright, so I got all my negatives or grounds ready where they need to be. So here's gonna be battery terminal, and all of them are in sequence how I want them to be lined up, on the actual switchboard. So green and red light, main headlight, the backup safety park light, bilge pump. Alright, now we're gonna do the same thing, but now I gotta do it with the positive. Now the problem with that is that I need to get rid of all the fuse cables that I have originally and then extend it there, because all those fuse cables are gonna go separately. Now there's gonna be a fuse just like that, but inside of this box instead. So here we go. Alrighty, so we're done. I sweat my life off, and I had to like simplify a lot of things because it was too hot. But I'm gonna show you how this is all wired. It might be a little difficult to see because I haven't been able to put the wood board and put it straight so you can see properly, but I'll give you a run around of it. So we have battery. So the battery goes, the positive of the battery goes to my selector, my on and off selector for the battery. If this is off, I apologize. The noise is unbearable around here right now. So the positive of the battery goes to the selector. If the selector is in off position, there's no power being drawn to anything. But once you switch it on, boom. You cannot see that properly, but that's actually is reading 12 volts. So that's what we're doing, positive to the selector. The selector will send the positive to our fuse box. In the fuse box, I got all the positive that are coming from the switcher. The lights themselves, the positive of the lights themselves and all the equipment is connected into one of the ports in the switcher. So you get electricity in, goes through fuse box. The negatives of all the lights are wired right here. So that's all my negatives, and a main negative that is coming from here to the battery. So it's kind of simple, but once again, if you're doing this wiring, you gotta remember that if this comes pre-wired, you're gonna have to rewire the entire switcher. Normally they come pre-wired to pass one positive, one negative, and they already are either they have already the fuses installed in the back, or they're just wires in series. So if you wire them in series, what is going to end up happening is that if you plug the lights directly into the red, into the positive, what is going to end up happening is that you won't have any fuse. So if something get to happen, the light will burn out. It's not going to be the fuse just trying to save your light. The light is going to be gone, so, or the bilge pump or whatever you got connected. So the best thing to do is going battery to selector. If you're not using the battery, this is not going to be drawing power. You just turn it off. So that's going to be your positive. The positive from here is going to go straight to your fuse box, and in the fuse box you're going to connect the position number 2 on the switch, goes to the switch box, the fuse box. The position number 3 on the fuse on the switch is gonna go to your light. So all my light negatives are connected here on the top, and that is gonna be on your switch position number 1. And then I left these ones wires in series, and I pass a positive and negative, positive to the switch box and a negative to the battery. Your circuit is completed. So I already gave 2 coats of sealant. I painted black, and I'm putting 2 more coats of sealant on top of the paint, and we're good to go. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you now how everything is going. So my first position here, my first light is going to be my running lights or my navigation lights. As you can see, red on one side, and then you got green on the other. Then I have my spotlight, which will be my front main light, right there. Then I have my anchor light, and then you're gonna hear now the bilge pump. So everything is working properly, everything is in the order that I wanted, everything is drawing the right current. My battery is reading 12.5 volts, which is what you're looking for. And now I just gotta wait for the wood to dry. I'm gonna silicone the wood to the boat, and then I'm gonna drill the box to the wood, and then we're good to go. The wiring is back working, everything is working properly. But importantly, if anything get to happen, I don't know if you can see, but everything is labeled. It's the docking Quadrilac, which is the name of the boat, and I have my navigation lights, floodlight, I got my anchor light, my bilge pump, and this is the connection of the positive of the 12 volt car plug and the USB ports, and logically my meter. But the meter, yeah, you cannot read it, but it reads 12.8 volts right now. So there we go. I'll give you guys a last shot when I put the wood on. Alright you guys, so I didn't have a full outro. As you can see, I got big camera overheated, GoPro overheated, everything overheated. I was working on 105 degrees and I overheated, so my brain got foggy and cloudy and it was kind of messy, but the information is conveyed. As you can see, I just finished the diagram for you guys if you want to follow. A couple of things to keep in consideration when we're doing this is, depending of the switcher that you acquire, as I mentioned before, it will come either wired in series, fully in series, everything in series with no fuses, or wired in series with the fuses where you're going to connect your lights. If it doesn't have the fuses, the best thing that I can suggest is grab the manual, and in the manual it will tell you which of the ports is going to be your ground or negative, and which of the ports are going to be your positive, and what port is going to be the positive for the actual light or bilge pump or whatever item you are trying to hook up or connect. So for the most part with this type of rockers, your number 3 port is going to be where the light or the equipment is going to be located at. And the port number 2 will be your positive that is going to go to your fuse box. You also got to keep in consideration, you're going to see, when you see the diagram actually fully, you're going to see an extra positive coming out from the switchboard to the actual fuse box, and also you're going to see an extra negative and or ground going from the switchboard to the ground board. That is to account for the LED lights of the actual switchboard. So I took all my series wiring that I had on the positives and negative. They went bye-bye with the exception of my USB, my 12 volt adapter, and my meter. Those I left it in series. That's why you're seeing an extra positive and an extra negative. Is to account for those LEDs. If you have any question, feel free to contact me. I will be more than happy to help you guys out. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, I did this in the middle of crazy heat wave, and my brain got foggy. The equipment didn't withstand the heat either, so I couldn't make this as detailed as I wanted to, and I apologize for that. But once again, the information is fully conveyed, and if not, you can just follow with the manual of the switcher and the diagram, you will be able to figure it out in no time. It's super simple, super easy. It can get more complex. I simplified it. It can go more complex if you want certain things to go in a certain way, but I did want to have the LED lights for those switches to remain. So thank you so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video, and I will see you in the next one. Pancho out.